Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? Well, somewhere lost in downtown Universal. That's where we are. So, well, I can't really give you a bearing because it's nigh on impossible to tell you exactly where we are. But we are going to join one of the main arteries just up here, and then that's going to wiggle and waggle us back towards the tree-lined avenue that takes you up to the Debenhams roundabout, well, former Debenhams that is, or if you were to go right, you would go down to the downtown Cato Paphos Harbour area. So, if your name was Ronnie Miller, well, you know exactly where you are, because I'm sure you've worked it out, Ronnie, and I got a belief that you're coming into town very, very soon. So if you do, drop it in the comments, and guess what? We'll arrange to bump into you. Now, let's go and check on the breakfast crew. I mean, I know Vivian's a busy, busy lady. She thought she was a very, very clever girl when she joined the crew, and she thought, oh, well, I'll make the tea, so I'll always be on the crew. Very, very clever indeed. But what you forgot was that the crew is going to get bigger and bigger, and you're going to have to make more and more cupcakes. As she's just said, she's run out of cupcakes. We don't want cupcakes, we want cupcakes. She's running out of them already, but she's promised to really put in the overtime and make some more. And she's even thinking about roping in the mayor, because he likes a bit of overtime, he likes a bit of a backhander, so maybe he's going to come and help her as well. But I think at the moment he's lounging by his pool because he's having a half day, if you understand me. So there you go, what can I say? Now, who's on those sofas today? Let's go and have a quick look. I mean, I know Alan's to the side of us. He doesn't need a sofa because he just brings his own treadmill. He's a very, very clever man indeed, you know, because he again understands, well, if I was going to get a seat on the sofa, he's going to kick me off sooner or later. And as I threatened Dame Anne yesterday, I was going to kick her off, but I promise you, Dame Anne, I will never kick you off, because you's the Dame. You's like a superstar amongst superstars, and we're wishing you all the love in the world, and we hope that you get over this little cold very, very quickly indeed. And I'm sure Miss Nessie is wishing you all the best in the world, and I'm sure Miss Fiona as well, even Rob. And I know Rob doesn't like you very much because you're the one that goes out and does the recons in the downtown Marriott diamond shops, and you keep telling Fiona when it's open and when it's closed. So that's why he doesn't like you, because he understands that you's a bad lady, because you're bad for his wallet, shall we say. Never mind, there we go. That's my little joke. Hopefully it's cheered you up, Dame Man. Hopefully it has. And we're looking forward to seeing you, by the way. We know that the Jet 2 holiday, the aeroplane by the great Jet 2 that's going to whisk you into downtown Paphos, is not that far away. And when you get to town, we're going to whisk you away, and we'll go for lunch or something, that's for sure. And we'll sit around and have a good chin wag. And you never know, maybe some more people might get chucked in the boot, like Sir Simon or Sir Jeremy. So they're going to come out in November. So anyone who's coming out in November and wants to meet Double Trouble, that's when they're going to come, and I'm going to twist their arm. Well, I don't think I'm going to have to twist their arm. I think they're going to jump into the seats, that's for sure, because they are true friends and they're friends for life, that's for sure. So the idea now, I've got this new little plan. I'll have one sitting next to me, and we'll jibber jabber, and then we'll have one in the boot, and we'll cut a hole in the seat to allow the head to come through, so we won't hear the muffled shouts. So it could be quite funny. It could be like, not car karaoke. It would be like car with three idiots in straitjackets with one's head sticking through the rear seat. Bit of a mouthful, I suppose that is. Anyway, but we'll come up with something. Anyway, who else is on that sofa? Well, we're going to welcome a new guy to the sofa today. Apparently he takes great interest in car bodywork and mechanics, and apparently he is unable to ever go and buy a car, because when he goes to have a look at it, he always finds something wrong with it, because he is very much into his car bodywork and he is a mechanic as well. Now I wonder if he knows who I am talking about, because he's got some friends who are, as we speak, lounging in the rear terrace to the rear of the Alexander the Great Hotel, and they're looking out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. And this gentleman comes all the way from Wiltshire. That's where he's from originally, and apparently he wants to buy a boat. So if you need to buy a boat, Sean, yes, Sean Broad, I'm talking about you. If you need to buy a boat and you fancy coming out to Paphos, well, you let me know when you're coming. You let me know what type of boat you want, and I'll go and steal it for you. Simple. There we go. And I'll have a word with, well, he's not a sergeant anymore, he's a captain, Captain Stavros, the head of the Paphos police, and I'll see if he'll allow you to borrow it for a couple of weeks, free of charge. Well, you might get locked up afterwards, but you never know. So, big welcome to the sofa, Mr. Sean. Sit yourself down. And talking about Sean's, there's another Sean sitting right next to you, and next to him is Miss Dawn. And of course, next to them, or on their laps, are Miss Daisy, the Cypriot cat, who was abducted and taken to live up in Derbyshire. But she's got happy now because she's got a new friend. She's got a little dog called Bo, and they're the best of buddies, and they go running off in the fields and all that kind of thing. So who else is in town? Let's have a quick look. Mr. Doug is in town, still looking for ideas for his novel. He wants to murder someone, but he's realised that murdering Mr. Paul is not a good idea, because Miss Otching Musivi at the booth, that's Miss Marika, is not going to run off with him. And on top of all that, there'll be no financial gain because Mr. Paul hasn't got any money. On that note, why not consider going through to our About page, where you could consider to buy us a coffee or two. And if you do, we promise to liquidate it and turn it into liquid benzene and continue to bring more and more episodes of The Breakfast Crew to you. So we thank you very much for all the people who have contributed to the channel. We really, really do thank you. And I think you understand that we are spending that money very wisely on making more and more videos for you. The only exception to that was Dame Anne, because she wanted Marika to have something special. So Marika went out and bought, I think, probably the most beautiful blue top with diamonds on its shoulders that has ever been made. And then, of course, it was modelled by the most beautiful woman in the world, and Dame Anne thinks it looks absolutely spectacular. So thank you, Dame Anne. We really truly appreciate your support. We really do. Big shout out to the one and only Lord Nigel. Thank you for the coffees that you bought us. Joe Cox, thank you. Ian, thank you. And just so you understand, on Buy Me a Coffee, by the way, if you do go through there, and normally you leave a message, a comment, I read them, but at the moment, for some reason, Buy Me a Coffee sometimes is not functioning correctly on our side. So sometimes I'm able to reply with a comment, and sometimes I'm not. So if you don't get a reply, that's not because, what's the words? It's not because I think I'm a star or a superstar, or I don't appreciate what you're doing. I try to do the comment, but it won't allow me to. But I keep going back in, and then normally after a few days it allows. So when you get your reply 3-4 days later, that's the reason. It's not because I don't appreciate it. I really do. And if you leave, well, if I know who you are, I will actually reply to you via the YouTube comments to say thank you. And now I'm going to start doing it on the YouTube channel as well, because we really appreciate it, and I mean it. And I think you understand that YouTube doesn't pay us very much money. You know, don't think we're going to get rich off YouTube. We have to find other avenues to earn our revenue. Obviously, that little bit of cream from YouTube eventually will become the cherry on the top, obviously. But it's a long, slow process. But why did we do it? Are we doing it for the money? No, we're not. We're doing it because we really enjoy it. And we started off, well, as an idiot with a beautiful blonde walking up and down the Cape of Paphos promenade, and slowly but surely our little channel has grown, and whether you understand or not, we now have more than 1,500 family members, subscribers, the technical term, isn't it? And we see each and every person as our friend and as a member of our family. And if there's anything that we can do for you, within reason obviously, but and I mean it, if there's anything that we can do, we will willingly do it. If there's somewhere that you want us to go, if we can go, we will go. If you need a lift from an airport or that kind of thing, I'll pick you up. It's no problem to me. But remember, Miss Maggie, my secret M, if I pick you up from the airport, you have got to narrate the video. So that's the deal. And Lord Ritchie, he understands the deal, so when he flies in, he has agreed to be the narrator, and he's all the way from Bratislava, but guess what, his English is way better than mine could ever be. Now, Lord Ritchie, I'll ask you straight on camera, we're looking for, well, out of the kindness of a man's heart, Mr. Richard, Miss Julie, with their son, Mr. Leo, he has very kindly bought us the I think domain name, isn't it? So he's bought marikaandme.com. So obviously we now need a website. Now I'm not very clever, so I'm looking for someone perhaps that would like to build us a website. And well, we haven't got any money, so again we're looking for someone that perhaps would like to do it out of their kindness of their heart. Then we will be looking for, I think they're called moderators, that kind of thing. So, you know, we're looking for people who perhaps, like us, perhaps would want to help. Now, in the future, as the channel grows, I'm quite an honest man and I'm quite an open man. As we make money, I will come up with a solution to moneyfy you, if you understand me. So I'm not asking you to do it for free forever. Hopefully got a gentleman, my cousin James, who's going to get involved in making the merchandise. And again, the same deal. We're not greedy. We're not trying to keep all the money for ourselves, because we understand, well, we don't have much time now, but we understand as time goes on, we'll have less and less time. So we would rather, to use those words, outsource those kind of things. But I would rather outsource it to people who are helping us to start with. I don't want to just give it to some other person and they just go make some money out of it. I'd rather people that are family members hopefully make some money out of it. So I don't know, I think the going rate for a t-shirt is about £15 or whatever it is. I know we're not stupid, they cost, I don't know, £3-4 to make. At the end of the day, if we got a fiver, we'd be happy. So whoever wants to do that possibly could make a fiver a year. You've only got to sell one t-shirt and you could make a fiver. There we go. And then so could we. So we're looking for someone to help us to build a website. I haven't got a clue. I'm an idiot who just basically wears a blue hat and a pair of sunglasses. Luckily, I'm not a bad chappie, so my customers keep coming back and I treat them with respect and they treat us with respect. And I try to treat everyone with respect, by the way. If you get some nastiness from me, it will be because you were nasty to me first. It's that simple. I don't tend to drive in an erratic way. I don't try to drive up people's bottoms, if you understand me. I try to have a bit of respect for the world. Obviously in my younger days I was an idiot, but now I tend to be quite calm. And I'll try and do anything for anyone. Anyway, that's enough of that bit. Where are we going? Well, we're on Tomb of the Kings. That's where we are. And I hope that Sean Broad is enjoying his first day on the sofa. And just so he understands, I'll kick you off in a few days, by the way, because obviously there's not enough room. But if you tickle me, people are starting to understand me. If you tickle me in the comments, if you want to be on the breakfast sofa, you can. I love having a chat with people. I really do. I mean, we've got the one and only Viking. There's only ever going to be one Viking, because I don't think anyone else in Denmark watches us. But there is a Viking, and his name is Mr. Ronnie. And this gentleman has been with us from the start. He's a superstar. I mean, he really is. He comments constantly. What keeps him coming back, I don't know. Perhaps he needs medication or something like that. I think a lot of people need medication. Now, talking about medication, pet pills and that sort of stuff. You know, got Richard is in town at the moment. He's a friend of Sean's, by the way, who I've just been talking about, and he's brought his beautiful wife Julie, and of course they brought Mr. Leo. And you never know, we might get to go and have a mosey on down in their hotel room. I know that sounds bad, but you know what I mean. But hopefully they're not going to watch this before it's been done. But Leo knows what I'm talking about. Well, he will know in retrospective what I'm talking about, because we've agreed with him that he's going to give us exclusive access to the room in Alexander the Great. So on this coming weekend, we're going to storm that hotel, and we're going to go up and have a look around one of the rooms, and then we're going to show you the spectacular view off the terrace, and then we're going to wiggle and waggle through the restaurant area and out across onto the coastal pathway. So that's going to be a unique video, because there's not many people who can storm a hotel without permission and get into a hotel room as well. But of course, we's are Marika and me. And as Viking Ronnie says, nobody else is as stupid or as adventurous as us. And one of these days, we are going to get locked up, that is for sure. I remember when we stormed one of the hotels, I'm not going to say the lady's name because she doesn't want to be on camera, that sort of stuff, but she did say one of these days, one of these hotels is going to phone the police, and your Gumbarrow, he's not actually my Gumbarrow, if you understand me, but Sergeant Stavros, who's now a captain, is going to come along and he is going to beat you. And that is for sure. So where are we? We're on the Tomb of the Kings Avenue. We've just gone past Tomb of the Kings, and coming up to give you some bearings is the Venus Beach Hotel right in front of us on the left hand side, and then on this side is the Alvida Hotel, which of course is where the gentleman with the blue Audi who lives all the way out in Mandrea, that's where Mr. Neil hung out for 3 or 4 weeks before he moved into his house. So a big good morning to you, Mr. Neil. And that's Little just up there on the right hand side. You can just see their sign hiding behind the foliage. And I'm going to say thanks for watching, and if you do like what you see, hit the like, click subscribe, and why not come back for a little bit more of my complete and utter lunacy. Thanks for watching.